My guest for today, I knew him since the 80s. I do admire him from far, and he is very tall. Currently, he still holds the national record in his specialized domain since 1995. That is 26 years. He went on to represent the national teams in various major games like SEA Games, Asian Games, Asian Athletic Championship, and the pinnacle of all sports, the Olympic, Atlanta 1996. We will be catching up lost time as he will be sharing us his stories after we roll out the intro.
Welcome to Lepak with Ant. Let's hear what our guests have to say. Or there are beans to spill. Strap on the seatbelt and let's go for a ride with me. We can learn from our guest's story. So, subscribe to my channel as we can experience life journeys together.
The irony is, the guest for today and myself, we had never crossed paths in our life until today. It was through a viewer, a mutual friend of ours, that actually took up this interview. Let's now welcome our guest for today, and he is our high jumper, Wong Yu Tong.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Yu Tong.
Hello, Anthony.
Finally, I met you after 30 over years in person. All right. So, thank you for the opportunity to meet up with you in person and do a catch up.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Right. Perhaps you'd like to share with our viewers do a brief introduction of yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yu Tong. I am still currently holding the national record for high jump since 1995. The record that I established in Chiang Mai during the SEA Games.
Ever since you stepped down competing competitively, and what have you been up to?
Well, it was kind of a tragedy that kind of ended my high jumping career. I was doing a training after the Olympics, and I came back to Singapore. I was doing training, doing pretty well. December 31st, 1996, it was one of the training sessions, and an accident happened, and I broke my knee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I tore my ACL, I tore my meniscus, it was all smashed up.
All right.
And that was the end of my jumping days.
Okay.
And so after that, I decided I think it's time to, hang up my jumping spikes.
Yeah, jumping spikes.
I still wanted to do something active and being physical outdoors opportunity, and I joined Outward Bound Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, and from there it was no looking back in that sense. I was with Outward Bound Singapore for about almost 10 years.
Wow, that's about a decade of service to the Outward Bound School, but that based in
Pulau
Ubin itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
loved it. Wonderful place.
Close to nature.
Close to nature. The people were fantastic. Bosses were very encouraging. They were very nurturing.
I see.
So I had a wonderful 10 years in Outward Bound Singapore, and then after that, an opportunity came about.
I see.
Over at SMU since 2009. Wonderful place. I think I am now looking after co-curricular activities. I'm with the Office of Student Life in SMU.
There's a lot of interaction with the students.
And it's to look after the development of students in terms of their leadership abilities. Is to look after the academic education that they receive, and we complement that with co-curricular activities here. A very strong advocacy in holistic education in SMU, providing a partnership with academic classroom through co-curricular activities in that sense.
It's more of a kind of experiential learning.
Yes, and this is kind of like their last leg in formal education before they head out into the real world.
Okay, all right.
And so we give them a lot of guidance, but also autonomy in that sense that they make decisions about things that they would like to do in the co-curricular space, organize events, organize competitions, but ultimately that is just the tool to their learning. So what is it that they learn through organizing an event, about leadership, about collaboration, about communication, how do you communicate, right? And about how to problem solve. I mean, and these are essential in the real world. Life skills.
Life skills, yes.
Life skills that through co-curricular, we hope that they pick that up, and after that, when they head out into the real world, they can be, positively contributing to
the society.
Global citizenship now. It's not just about being here. It's also about being out there in that sense. So this is very purposeful. We see it as being a critical component to classroom formal education in that sense.
I mean, it's not so fixated in terms of the curriculum that you have, just classroom, right? It's more of a kind of experiential life learning that you're exposed to, that will gives you the experience in the real life.
And when they hit a certain obstacle, how do they go about, solving it? Applying maybe what they've learned in class, even to that event or that program or that situation, and then of course with us, with guidance along the way, we make sure that they are, they stay safe.
It's a safe space that they can actually showcase their ability in handling that kind of situation, and at least when they go out to the real world, they have the kind of an experience or incident that they're able to fall back on and able to overcome. All right, Yu Tong, thank you so much for sharing what you're doing right now, and looks like there's some purpose in your life. All right, so going back to the heydays where your names are pop up everywhere in terms of the newspapers. Back then, we only had one media.
Yeah.
That is the newspapers.
That's right.
So, how you actually started your high jumping so-called career?
Well, I got to thank my best friend. He was in track and field. When we were in SJI. And then my secondary school teacher, Dr. John Tan, he talent scouted me in that sense, and he sort of taught me how to, from the straddle to convert to the Frostberry flop. So that was how it started when I was 14. So from then on, I became pretty good at it, and so it stuck.
All right, that is where your journey of high jumping starts.
Yeah.
All right, okay, just to show the guest how tall he is, okay, as we stand up, hope we are not out of the frame. Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah,
I'm out of the frame.
you
I'm out of the
can
frame.
see that he's out of the frame. All right, he's
out of the frame.
How tall are you actually?
I'm 1.94.
All right, okay, and then how you've been actually spotted and went on to represent Singapore? Yeah.
Well, Dr. John Tan, because he was a school teacher, he was teaching me science, and after that, I think he had to go overseas to study. To further his studies. So he entrusted me with a coach, and his name is Mr. Lim Boot Hyang. So Mr. Lim kind of took me under his tutelage, and that's where
your career
just flew off under his tutelage and under his guidance.
All right.
So under Mr. Lim, that's where I really took off. And yeah.
Right, it's good that at least you have under the kind of a mentorship from someone who really knows your true potential and actually brought you to a new level, and the current record of 2.2 meters, it still stands. How you feel about it? You know, still holding the national record
Well,
for 26 years.
I must say that it is. I feel well. In one way, it is. I feel proud.
Okay, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, definitely.
That I am holding the national record. But on the other hand, more so actually, it
Okay.
is sad. That's the whole point, right? Records
Okay,
are
yes,
sad,
I'm meant to be
meant
broken.
to be broken.
Yep.
And when it stays for too long, you know,
It's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy.
In the late 80s, we were reading a lot of your progress and your
Yeah.
achievements and all those things, all the way to the Atlanta Olympic and all those. And like you said, in the fateful day where you got injured, and that is where
Yeah,
things just ended abruptly, I would say.
yeah. I mean, in a way, I look at it as a blessing in disguise, and I kind of reflect. I mean, I spend quite a lot of time reflecting and thinking, and I think that it happened for a reason, because during that period of time, like what you said, right, it was my heydays. I didn't know how to manage and handle
Oh,
success and
okay.
limelight.
Yeah, I
You
think.
know,
Yeah.
so I think that I wasn't a very nice person back then. Not that I'm saying I'm a nice person now, but
Okay,
you know,
okay.
I think it got to the head. You know,
Oh,
that I'm invincible, I'm the best. You know,
alright,
and then when the world came crashing down, it brought me back from like hero, you know, straight to zero. Over the turn of the new year in 1997, you know, because it happened on December 31st, right?
Yeah,
96.
96 to 97.
You know, the immediate, and you start to wonder, you know, now I have nothing. So what do I do?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so-
Back to
so-
reality.
Back to reality, you know, you no longer have all this support and all that, and because I carried on training even
Okay.
with my injury,
All right.
I tried to qualify for other games, and that's where when you don't do well, the press, they have to report what it is,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where, you know, the reality bites. One of my friends said, you know, Outward Bound Singapore, you know, you enjoy being outdoors, you enjoy
Alright,
being physical,
okay,
you know,
okay.
go and have a try. And so I said, okay, you know. So I went into Outward Bound, and I think that's where, again, it is finding my own calling, my niche in that
Yeah.
sense, something that I'm really passionate about, and that is,
Mhm.
you know, bringing, well, experiential education to
All right.
and watching how students or the younger people,
Participants, yeah.
the participants, pick up life skills and see how they become a little bit more resilient.
Mhm.
But I guess it's really this thing of there's always an option.
Mhm, mhm.
There's always there are always opportunities. Is how we look at it.
Yep.
You know, and I think through sports, it taught me that. It taught me
Yep.
how to be mentally resilient when you know, when you're up against the competitors. You know, are you focusing on them, or are you focusing
On
on
yourself.
to what the best you can do? I mean, if you look around, there will always be people better than us.
Yeah.
You control your own,
Destiny.
well, in that sense, path. You
Mhm.
know, and always do the best in that sense. And then when you look back, no regrets.
No regrets. Yeah. We have spoke about the low. Yes. So how about the high?
The high was, you know, breaking the national record and at the Chiang Mai Sea Games.
Okay.
That was a high.
Mhm.
You know, and I think it's important that at a high
Mhm.
we enjoy the moment.
Yep.
But I think it's also important for us to appreciate the people who are around us and supported us
Exactly.
and brought us to the high. Most of the time we forget.
Ah. All right. All right. Okay.
You know, now at this point in time, I think it's not too late for me to acknowledge
Okay.
all those people. You know, you are
Alright.
giving me an opportunity to do so. Thank you, Anthony. You
Okay.
know,
Thank you so much. This happened for a reason.
yeah, to acknowledge the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that supported me, my family.
Yeah.
You know, supported me without any, you know, complaints.
Unconditional.
Yeah,
Unconditional
you know, my
support.
family,
Yeah.
my friends, the, Dr. John Tan,
And
Mr. Lim Wood Hyang, and there are other people that were there. So I think it's also an experience to do well.
Yep.
And I think that we should celebrate. We must celebrate our successes,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I'm not saying that, hey, don't celebrate your success. Celebrate your success. It is important to celebrate success, but at the same time, also recognize the people that are in the background that supported, you and helped you to that success.
Yeah.
So in that sense,
All right. Thank you so much for all the precious, valuable input and sharing that you have. Through your stories.
I got to say thank you for this opportunity.
No problem. It's mutual, right? So just before I let you go back to your office, like my other guests, is there any word of encouragement that you have for viewers out there?
Well, I would say always do your best. And remember that, tough times don't last, right? You need to find a way to get the solutions, talk to people that will be able to help you positively, and be ready to give it a good go. Just give it a good go and seek help whenever you need to. So I wish everyone all the very best, and I guess we'll see each other around.
All right. Bye, and thank you so much. Bye. After hearing the stories from you, Tom, this quote from Seal, the singer, came to my mind. Life is how you relate to it, and not how it relates to you. This is exactly what Yutong went through in N96 when he came back from the Atlanta Olympic. Fortunately for Yutong, he has accepted the reality and moved on, despite experiencing low in his life. He decided to join the OBS, and the rest is history, and he stayed there for a decade, and eventually moved on to his current employment in the SMU. Life is about choices. You have to choose what is best for you and that is close to your heart. This is exactly what Yutong did. That's all for today. Cheers and bye for now.